Hold my hand. I don't have a hand. Hold my jacket.
Why do you have to feed all the judges? Don't they have kitchens?
The judges' breakfast is a kind of a party. It's a get-together. We do it once a month, and today I'm the hostess. Is that cool?
Yeah. How come it's okay to have a muffin for breakfast but not a cookie?
Because muffins are breakfast food and cookies aren't.
Says who?
The American Muffin Association. Come on, let's go.
Do you believe in God?
Where did that come from?
I just wondered.
Yes, I do.
Me too.
Good. Let's go.
Do you pray?
Sometimes.
When?
I don't know. When I'm on an airplane. Can we wait until we get into the car to talk about this?
Okay. Do you believe in heaven?
Sweetie, here's the thing. God and heaven and prayer are all very complicated ideas that I'm happy to talk about when I'm not standing in the middle of the street holding a box of muffins. Tonight, when I get home, we'll have a long talk about it. Okay?
Okay.
Now let's go.
Where do babies come from?
Judge Gray, this should start winding down in 10 minutes or so. I'm not refilling the coffee.
It's a good call, Bruce.
First up is a heroin mother.
Brief me.
Kid was born addicted to heroin. She's arguing the prenatal benefits of opiates.
Oh, fun.
Excuse me.
Best time you've had since your last blind date?
Oh, God. My kingdom for a blind date right now.
No, these things are generally much worse. You've got a really big turnout. Everybody wanted to get a look at you.
Sorry, Judge Gray.
I know. We have to wrap this up.
Your docket has changed.
No heroin, Mother?
Everything's postponed. You just got a special assignment.
From who?
Edwin Brooks, presiding judge.
Well, he just hands it down with no warning? What does that mean?
Means it's a case nobody wants.
Susie Nixon? Ms. Nixon?
Oh, Miss Gray. Good. You're not late.
I'm never late. It's a character flaw. Call me Maxine.
Have a seat. I'm just finishing up with these files. I usually see all my cases through, but lately I've just been swamped. I understand that you've been called out of retirement.
I've been consulting the whole time.
Well, that shows incredible dedication.
Or temporary insanity.
Who was your last supervisor?
That would be me.
Oh. I didn't know that you were head of the department. They didn't tell me. Well, I really am honored.
So what's the assignment?
Blatant abuse. Kid needs to be snatched as soon as possible. I've already submitted one report, and the judge is waiting for a follow-up. Oh, it's Judge Fowler. He usually sees things our way.
Our way?
I'm not a big fan of letting children suffer, and I hope you agree.
Actually, I think it should be a spectator sport. Part of the Summer Olympics, maybe. Ms. Nixon, I've been a social worker for 28 years. I think it's safe to say I've devoted my life to the welfare of children.
Oh, I didn't mean to offend you. It's just that our generation feels that we have to make up for decades of letting children down. And since the child abuse laws only came into being sometime in the 60s, we really
I was
feel-
around then, when the states enacted mandatory reporting. I testified before Congress.
Oh, I had no idea. Well, I'm certainly not in a position to give you guidance.
We got cedar wood. We got 9-inch nails. We need screws.
Why are we here? This place is boring.
I told Grandma I'd build her some cedar closets.
Is she paying you?
Family doesn't pay. They make you pay if you say no. Screws. Where are the screws?
Mommy doesn't let me say that word.
It's okay in this context.
What's a context?
When you're talking about hardware, you can say screws.
When can't you say?
You see that guy down there in the red apron? His name is Dwayne. Go ask him where the screws are.
Fathers are getting younger all the time.
I know, that's my niece. I just picked her up from school.
Are you good at this stuff?
Kid stuff?
No. This.
Oh, well, yeah, I can pick an electric drill out of a lineup.
What about a glue gun?
Here you go.
Okay, I'm an idiot.
People tend to dissociate in these places. It's normal.
Thank you.
What are you gluing?
Boxes. I sell them.
There's a market for boxes.
Well, I make them. Hand-carved, painted, decoupaged. People want them for some reason.
You're an artist.
So they tell me. I'm Chris Osborne.
Vincent Gray.
And what do you do, Vincent Gray, when you aren't in hardware stores?
I'm a writer.
What do you write?
Fiction, mostly.
Anything I might have read?
I doubt that.
No, I don't read much these days. You're probably ridiculously famous, and I should be embarrassed.
Hey, good job. Lauren, this is Chris.
Hi.
Hi, Lauren. You have a nice uncle.
I know, but he ought to be married by now.
His grandma.
I might give you a call. I think I have a job for you. Are you in the book?
Yeah.
Okay, here's the deal. So they call him the Saint Boy. Real name is Thomas Bell, 10 years old. Mother was 9 months pregnant when she was killed in a car accident. Baby was delivered on site, technically dead. He was revived, but has been in a vegetative state ever since. He has never spoken or moved or responded to outside stimuli. His maternal grandmother has raised him since birth.
They can't do this to me, can they?
The boy's supposed to perform miracles. People come from everywhere to touch him, be healed by him. It's creating a circus atmosphere in the neighborhood, not to mention questionable press.
Yeah, but where's the evidence of abuse?
His doctor, with whom he has several monthly visits, has expressed concerns. The constant exposure to the public is undermining his health. Also, evidence of stigmata, bleeding from the hands and feet, exhibiting wounds of Christ.
Oh, my God. This doesn't happen in Hartford. It happens in other places.
They're filing the petition even as we speak. You're presiding.
Well, can't somebody stop this? The Attorney General can't want this case.
Wrong. Charges are coming directly from Victor Pascal's office.
They are. Well, this stinks. They're giving it to me because I'm the only judge who can't throw it back in their faces. Taking on the Catholic Church and the Constitution. Do they have anything bigger in their bag of tricks? You got any thoughts on this, Bruce?
Just one. I'm glad I'm not you.
Is it true that he's been known to cure people?
Is there evidence of a stigmata?
Is it true that you've only been a judge for a month?
Excuse me. Report's been calling all morning. No, we can't comment.
How did the press find out I'm the presiding judge?
Beats me.
Really?
What's that supposed to mean?
The AG's office can't talk to the press. I'm hermetically sealed, and you're the only other person who knows.
Are you trying to accuse me of something?
I'm just wondering how it got leaked.
I hope you would trust me a little more than that.
Trust you. See, the tricky thing about trust is it requires actually knowing a person. You have insisted on this professional distance. There are rumors of judges who are actually close to their CSOs.
What do you want to know?
Anything? Your middle name, your marital status, your birthday, your favorite ice cream. Whether you're for me or against me.
I worked for no less than 5 judges for the last 2 years. Did you call them and ask about me? Did you do your homework?
Yeah. They were all men.
My opinion of you has very little bearing on my job. I take my work seriously, and I play by the rules.
Well, thanks for telling me.
Calvin, September 1st, single, lactose intolerant. And I didn't talk to anyone.
Hi, Mrs. Oakes. I'm Maxine Gray from DCF.
What happened to Susie?
Susie got tied up in court, so I'm following up for her.
I was hoping we were finished with all this.
Hi, Ashley.
Why don't you go watch TV? This is all a big mistake.
Ashley's teacher, Mrs. Swanson, is concerned about her weight and her eating habits.
Mrs. Swanson is at least 20 pounds overweight herself. She can stand to watch her own eating habits. As you can see, I'm a slender person. Ashley, obviously, got my genes.
Mrs. Swanson says that Ashley refuses to eat her lunch and criticizes her classmates about their fat intake.
Let's be honest. We live in a country where self-control is considered extinct. Those kids bring nothing but processed foods to school. Saturated fats, empty carbs.
Mrs. Swanson says because of her eating disorder, Ashley has trouble concentrating.
She does not have an eating disorder.
If you could let me spend a few minutes with Ashley, maybe we can clear this whole thing up.
Honey, this is... What's your name again?
Maxine Gray.
Maxine, she wants to talk to you for a little bit. Is that okay? I'll leave you two alone.
Hi. I have a granddaughter about your age.
Does she like Barbies?
Yes, as a matter of fact, she does. Do you?
I'm not allowed to play with them. Mommy says they have an unrealistic body type.
I see. You know, I'd like to talk about something else. I'd like to talk about what you had for lunch today.
A salad. It was good.
Lettuce, cucumbers, carrots?
Dressing on the side. Dressing has a lot of calories
I see.
because of the oil. But we did some sit-ups, so we burned it off.
All rise. Oyez, 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 the Honorable Superior Court.
Let's do the short version.
Be seated.
Before the case was assigned to you, the presiding judge heard a motion and made the ruling that the case was open to the public.
Oh, really? Guys, we're revisiting that motion. Take your complaints to the Supreme Court. So DCF has filed a petition stating that several mandatory reporters have alleged abuse in the Thomas Bell case, and the department is seeking custody for the child.
Your Honor, my name is David Trask. I'm attorney for the grandmother, Mrs. Mila Bell.
Yes, I know who you are. But DCF is the moving party, so we'll start with AAG Cutler.
Thank you, Your Honor. While we respectfully acknowledge the extraordinary circumstances of this case, we at this time would like to submit that the child is comatose. He is incapacitated and therefore cannot have consented to his current treatment.
Objection. Your Honor, the case against Thomas Bell goes into the area of freedom of religion.
I assure you we will get there.
Furthermore, we vigorously deny that any abuse has occurred. This petition should never have been issued. The matter should be dismissed.
You will have every opportunity to make that argument. Go ahead, Mr. Cutler.
The people contend that the child is in a vulnerable state, and his grandmother's enthusiasm in presenting him as a child saint only exacerbates his condition. Your Honor, all else aside, the child is sick. He's in a coma, and the constant exposure to outside individuals only serves to make the situation worse.
Yeah, I've read the petition. Tell me something new.
At this time, we request that Your Honor make a visit to the child.
I strongly object.
No, I don't think that's a good idea. Since the argument is that Thomas has had too much exposure.
I don't see how this case can be tried fairly if you don't have the opportunity to view the child in his current circumstances. He cannot be moved, so it stands to reason that the court should go to him.
Your Honor, this is an unnecessary violation of the boy's privacy. He's a 10-year-old boy, and he's not well.
And yet you have no problem with the grandmother putting him on display for strangers.
Those are religious people. They are respectful.
What am I, a Visigoth?
Then Your Honor agrees that the visit is unavoidable.
No, I don't agree with that. I have already appointed a medical investigator, and that should be sufficient.
Your Honor, squeamishness aside,
Excuse me.
it's not easy to face this head on.
Mr. Cutler, you are so out of line.
I apologize.
I'm not sure that's enough.
Then let me just humbly say, I think this is very important.
Mr. Cutler, my hesitation has to do with the fact that once we leave this courtroom, we are exposing ourselves to the public. And it is vital that Thomas be protected from any further exploitation.
Measures can be taken, it can be managed.
All right. We'll schedule a court-appointed visit to the child. All interested parties should attend. However, the press is absolutely excluded from this excursion.
The court will note my strenuous objection.
I'll even underline strenuous.
Vincent, you're on time.
Should I have been late?
No, I was just painting and I forgot to look at the clock. So come on up.
Thanks. Oh, wow. These must be some boxes you make.
Now, this is the house my first profession paid for.
Which was?
I was a fabric designer. A couple of my patterns caught on.
Any fabrics I might have seen?
You heard of Paisley? No, it's just a trendy look a couple of designers picked up. But I stopped doing it because I got bored. That's my disease. Coffee?
Sure. Did you do that?
Yeah, a long time ago.
During your Mark Rothko phase.
You actually know about art?
I minored in art history.
Really?
Yeah. My mom thinks it's because she wore elastic pants when she was pregnant with me. Cut off the blood supply.
Okay, so here's the deal. I'm starting a catalog to sell my boxes and other stuff, and I need someone to write witty, descriptive blurbs.
I majored in blurbs.
I've checked around, and $1 a word seems fair.
Great. I'll be verbose.
So you'll do it?
Sure.
Or, I have another idea. We could just date. Okay, I'll go get dressed. We can start writing.
Please don't take him.
Let's keep moving. Mrs. Bell, I'm Bruce Van Nexel. We spoke on the phone yesterday.
I've been praying for you.
This is Judge Amy Gray. We have a court order.
Yes, I know. Come in. Dr. Myers already here. I would like to have a blessing before we begin.
No, that won't be necessary.
I'm afraid I require it.
Mrs. Bell, I understand this is a difficult situation for you, but we're here on court business. I'd just like to see your grandson.
No one sees Thomas without the blessing of the church.
We have the blessing of the court.
Well, I'll take you in, but just you.
All interested parties have to be present. Only the doctor will examine him.
But Thomas doesn't know you. You're strangers.
This won't take long. I promise.
Child is a 10-year-old male, has been in a persistent vegetative state since birth. The child appears to be clean, well-nourished.
Could you refer to him by name?
Thomas's pulse and respiration are within normal limits. Slight rashes on both arms and facial area, consistent with prolonged confinement to bed. His hair has been pulled out in places.
Caused by?
My guess? People wanting to take home a souvenir. There are abrasions on both palms. The dermis is somewhat macerated.
What does that mean?
Some kind of wound. It's moist, which means it's been recently bandaged.
How recently?
Don't know, but there's also old scar tissue. These marks are being inflicted, and not by God.
Poor little boy. You cannot touch him. You have not been blessed.
So tell me what you got. I visited Mrs. Oakes and her daughter. Things are plenty strange in that household. Have you inquired about the father's interest in obtaining custody?
He's a salesman, he travels a lot, plus he's a teensy little problem with cocaine.
Well, there goes that.
If we hop to, we can get the petition on Judge Fowler's desk tomorrow, and we can have the kid in foster care by this weekend.
I can see that her mother has some strange issues with food, and she's inflicting them on the daughter. Personally, I'd like to take the kid home and get a couple steaks in her.
Tell me about it.
She's underfed, but she's not starving. Removing her from the mother's care is an extreme reaction. I'm recommending mandatory counseling for mother and child and follow-up visits through DCF.
Look, I have an exhausting schedule. I need you to work with me, not against me.
We can't start taking children because their parents are strange. Where would it end?
Well, I can't let you embarrass this department with this sentimental stunt.
Sentimental? Allowing a child to remain in the custody of her mother is sentimental?
It is when it goes against common sense. Look, I have identified an excellent foster family. They're ready to take her.
Is your loyalty to the foster family or to the child? Who are you working for?
Look, if this whole thing is about you trying to get your position back as supervisor, I assure you it's taken.
Don't be ridiculous. I don't want your job. I've had it. It's overrated.
I want to take this case back.
I'm a state-certified social worker. You can't just dismiss my finding.
Don't tell me what I can do.
You are wrong to take that child from her mother. I won't allow it.
I'd like to see you try to stop it.
Well, stick around. You might learn something.
Grandmother is compensating. Making her kid a saint is her way of making up for the loss of her daughter.
Okay, but what's the harm? I mean, the child isn't conscious.
We don't know what he's feeling. And the grandmother inflicts wounds on him to make his sainthood more credible?
Come on, you can't prove that.
What, the stigmata is real? God, don't go nuts on me.
No, here is the question. Is the abuse serious enough to grant an OTC?
His grandmother took him on tour across country last year. Thomas got pneumonia and nearly died.
Well, 200 people claim to have been cured by him. What? On the record. Greta, are you telling me that these things don't happen? Even the doctors say prayer works. They don't know why, but it does.
Fine, but I'm supposed to divorce all that from the situation. I'm supposed to see him as a child and not a saint.
Yeah, fine. But as a person, don't you ever want to embrace the mystery?
Are you serious?
Oh, 3 a.m, I'd love something to believe in. Especially when the chemo starts to kick in.
I'm so sorry.
Can I tell you a sick secret? In my darkest moments, I've thought about paying Thomas a visit. But I've chosen science over God. I am not always sure it was the right decision.
Hi, Mrs. Oakes. It would work out much better for me if you people would call first. I have an appointment with my trainer.
Is Ashley here?
No, she's at kindergarten.
Good. That gives us a chance to chat.
What's going on?
What's going on is that you are in danger of losing your daughter to DCF.
Why?
Because you refuse to feed her normally.
I'm sorry if my nutrition standards aren't the same as yours. That doesn't give you the right to take my daughter from me.
DCF can take a child anytime they feel that she's in danger.
These charges would never hold up in court.
Maybe not, but it would take at least 3 weeks for you to get a hearing, during which time your child would be in the care of strangers. Now, I am currently fighting your battle, and I'm on your side. But if you don't grow a brain between now and tomorrow...
Excuse me.
And get some help for your eating disorder...
I do not have an eating
disorder. And start feeding your child something besides lettuce and rice cakes, you are going to be the mother of a kid in foster care. If you can wrap your rock-hard, emaciated head around that concept, you might have a prayer.
You have crossed the line, lady.
Sue me.
The child's autoimmune system is under duress. His system lacks the benefit of normal exercise and regular growth patterns. Thomas's weakened body works overtime to fight the diseases and infections most people don't even notice. The prolonged exposure to the public is seriously undermining his health.
Thank you, Dr. Meyer.
Mr. Trask?
No questions for the doctor, Your Honor, but if it please the court, I'd like to call a rebuttal witness. I think we should hear from Anthony Ruggiero, the Archbishop of the diocese.
All due respect to Father Ruggiero, we're not here to debate the authenticity of the boy's sainthood.
This is a freedom of religion issue from where we're sitting, Your Honor, and we think it would be unfair to exclude the Archbishop's testimony. Also, please refer to him as Archbishop or Your Excellency.
All right. The court is listening. Your Excellency, what is the Church's position on this?
Your Honor, we are not directly involved in Thomas' situation, but we are concerned with any reported miracles. The official position of the Church is that people should pray for Thomas and not to him.
But do you consider him a saint?
Despite Thomas' popular nickname, there are no living saints. One can achieve sainthood only after death.
Oh. So saints are like angels?
No. Angels are completely different. The angels, Catholics believe, have never taken human form.
I see. Well, look who wasn't paying attention during religion class. I am sorry.
It is a common mistake. The speculation is that Thomas is what we call a victim soul, one that was born to take on the pain and suffering of others.
Do you believe such people exist?
I believe they have existed. I think what we have to keep in mind is that Thomas inspires divine faith. And that in itself is healing. People are often cured by belief.
Can I say something?
Your Honor.
She's a party, Mr. Cutler. She has a right to be heard.
Go ahead. 10 years ago, my daughter was taken from me. Her son, my grandson, was born dead. But then he was given back to me. At first, I didn't understand the purpose of it. Just lying there like that. He had no purpose. I couldn't understand what God was doing. But then the people started to come, and he healed them. I saw it happen. And that's when I knew that there was a plan and that there is a purpose to every life. This is Thomas's purpose. Please don't take it away. That's all.
Code of Judicial Ethics precludes me from talking about this case. Yeah. A temporary custody hearing is scheduled. That's all I can say.
Looks like a charm. So does not answering.
Well, I can't just let it ring.
Learn.
Mommy, there's so many people.
Don't encourage them.
There must be 100 reporters out there. Did you see?
Yeah, I managed to notice them.
I counted 5 satellite news vans. I wonder where they get their electricity.
They've been following me around like a pack of dingoes.
Dingoes?
Thomas Bell means a lot to a lot of people. Nothing like this has ever happened around here.
Yeah, usually you need a passport and some malaria shots to have this kind of adventure.
Are you taking the same boy away from his grandma?
Sweetie, I can't discuss it.
Don't do that, she'll go to hell.
What?
Everybody says so.
Okay, let's eat.
Where's Vincent?
He said something about starting a freelance writing job.
It's the lady from the hardware store. He met her looking for screws.
So, is there anything to this Thomas Bell business?
Anything to it?
Yeah, people getting healed, visions of the Virgin.
I hear he can also buy locate. This is not dinner table talk.
Is a 10-year-old comatose boy the messenger of God? Have we collectively lost our minds here? Let's talk about Area 51 next.
Well, that's a real place.
Okay. Fortunately, it is not my job to determine the degree of holiness, just the degree of abuse.
Amy, I think you're discussing it.
I don't want you to go to hell, Mommy.
Oh, sweetie, I'm not. Damn it!
Let it go.
Aren't you tired?
No, tired is 1 a.m. The deadline for the short story competition is tomorrow. And you got a good opening paragraph.
You've been there?
I live there.
Did you ever win one of those competitions?
A long time ago, in college.
What was it called?
You wouldn't have heard of it.
Try me.
Pushcart.
You won the pushcart prize when you were in college. And then what?
Agent. First look publishing deal.
And then?
Inexplicable meltdown. I can't describe it. It's, I don't really like to think about it. Like 1 minute there I was, and the next, somebody who looked like me. You don't want to hear this. I swear to God, it's like I lost myself. Like I misplaced myself. I left it in a bar or somebody's back seat.
So what'd you do?
Went to Europe for a year. Dropped out of my life. Picked grapes in the south of France. Got paid in bottles of Vin Ordinaire. It's French for crappy wine.
I wish I'd had an adventure like that.
No, you don't.
And in the courtroom behind me, Judge Amy Gray is expected this morning to hand down her ruling on the fate of a little 10-year-old boy who has come to be known as Saint Thomas Bell.
I tried calling you at home.
Yeah, I left early.
You know the Attorney General, Mr. Pascal?
Yes, of course. We met at my swearing-in. Amy Gray.
Victor Pascal. Heard a lot about you. Well, to get right to it, we're pulling out of the Thomas Bell case.
Pulling out? How?
Just what I said. We decided not to pursue the petition.
Why?
The case is too ambiguous. The chaos the last few days indicates the people have spoken.
But I've already taken evidence. I was about to rule.
Don't even hint at how you were going to rule, Judge Gray. That I never want to know. Because if I do, well, it could appear that I influenced you.
Could the chaos you're referring to be the negative press that your office is receiving?
Careful, Judge Gray.
What makes you think I won't have my CSO file another abuse petition?
You could do that. My guess is that DCF would just screen it out. That's really all for now, Judge Gray.
Mr. Pascal, this was a bad move all around. You cannot interfere with people's lives if you don't have the courage of your convictions.
Are you under the impression that yours is a lifetime appointment?
No. But yours isn't either. And I could cite you for that.
Maxine, you and I go back a long way. I've always held your good judgment and dedication in the highest esteem.
Judge, I based my recommendations on 28 years' experience in DCF, and about 300 more raising my own children.
There is such a thing as protocol.
I was having trouble getting through to the woman.
The Department of Children and Families is under a lot of heat these days. No inappropriate physical contact.
I didn't touch her.
And no unnecessarily harsh language.
There's a fine line.
Rock-hard, emaciated head?
I'll apologize to Mrs. Oakes.
I think it's better you just stay away from her.
Yes, sir.
And we can forget about getting the child out of the house. Mrs. Oakes, not surprisingly, is suing the department. They're forced to lay low, and I hope she's the forgiving type.
Yes, sir.
That's all. Maxine. As if you aren't 3 steps ahead of me. You knew this was going to happen. You deliberately got that woman stirred up.
She wasn't scared enough.
I'd say you scared her. She asked for a restraining order. Do you realize you put your job in jeopardy?
Well, it's not my job if I'm not allowed to do it. We all act like foster care is the answer to our prayers. But kids get lost in that system years, and I think we need a hell of a reason to take them away from their parents.
Maxine.
I mean, by today's standards, I wouldn't be allowed to raise my basset hound.
Susie Nixon is radical, I know. But I am not. Have a little faith in the system, won't you? Or have you done it too long for that?
I hope not.
I hope not, too.
How do you like it? Chris?
Hi. Hi. That's,
Your mom around?
your mom.
Never mind. Could you just tell her that I took the laptop and I'll bring it back on Monday?
And you are...
Oh, I'm her daughter, Lori.
I see. I'm Vincent.
Hi, Vincent. Coffee smells good.
Hey.
Hey.
I was just writing you a note. I gotta get going.
Oh, thought we'd work some more.
I can't. Today's bad. I met your daughter.
Lori? When?
She came and took the computer. Said she'd bring it back on Monday.
Little sneak. She knew I needed it for the weekend. So that's what happened.
But nothing happened. I just...
Realized how old I really am.
Of course not. I know, I'm being neurotic. Shallow, even.
Go on.
It's just, this whole thing started out kind of Sunset Boulevard, and suddenly it's The Graduate.
You want to go out with my daughter?
No. I want to go out with you. I think. But even though it doesn't look that way, my life is very complicated. I just don't know that this is the right time. I'm not sure I can do this.
Do what? Your life might be complicated, but this isn't.
Do you have to be so reasonable?
You're the one who's rationalizing.
I might have some time this weekend.
Okay.
Capping a long-running and controversial story, Thomas Bell, the so-called Hartford Saint, will remain in his grandmother's care. Superior Court Judge Amy Gray will allow the Hartford grandmother to maintain custody of comatose 10-year-old Thomas, who many believe to possess miraculous powers. Although the Department of Children and Families had previously charged the grandmother with behavior that endangered young Thomas's health, Judge Gray today ruled that the state would not intervene in the boy's care. And now let's hear from Paul about tomorrow's weather.
I thought I heard you. Congratulations on your ruling.
It wasn't my ruling. One of those unintentional leaks.
What happened?
AG's office withdrew the petition. They set me up, Ma. They wanted to do something, but they were afraid I might rule the wrong way. But they played both sides, and I got caught in the middle. That way I take the heat, and they don't.
Amy. It's politics. Was corporate law any different?
I expected this to be different. I was counting on it.
All I can tell you is you stick around long enough, you start to play their game even better than they do. The prodigal carpenter.
I'm gonna finish tonight.
You sleep in your own place last night?
Did you?
You get right down to the basement. Don't come back without details.
I gotta do something first, Ma. Whatever happened to tap pants? I like tap pants.
Can we go now?
I'm serious, Vincent. I need your help.
All I have is married underwear.
And how exactly am I supposed to help you in this arena?
Tell me what women are wearing now. Garters?
I don't know. No garters.
How about that?
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay, you're not really helping. This could be the week. Lauren's going away with Michael, and I've got a date with Tracy. Things are getting kind of serious, so I don't need okay. I need wow.
Hey, you're not gonna get that from me regarding my sister's underwear. So you like this guy?
Yeah, he's great. I mean, he's not perfect, but I've stopped looking for perfect. It's our third date, and I'd like to be ready. At the very least, we're going to be talking about it.
Talking about what?
Okay, Vincent, it's like this. When you are separated with a small child, the thought actually enters your brain that you will never have sex again. At least with Michael.
Don't you have a friend you can talk to about this stuff?
My closest friend is currently recovering from cancer. I don't think I can talk to her about sex. It's embarrassing to admit it. Men aren't ashamed of wanting it, but with women, the minute you admit that you have a longing for a basic physical need, you feel like a slut. Oh, this is ridiculous. I have no idea what to get. Maybe I'll get a nice slip.
Thongs.
What?
Thongs. Women wear thongs.
Oh, come on.
They do.
Vincent, I've spent the last 10 years trying to look for underwear that doesn't go up my butt. Why would I spend $30 on underwear that does?
Are we getting close? Because it's been an hour.
I'm sorry, Miss Gray. I don't know what's taking so long.
Next, please.
Oh, okay, Socrates. Here we go.
Mrs. Gray, you're next.
Maxine?
Simon. What are you doing here? Oh, what am I talking about? You have a dog.
Yes, this is Desmond. Actually, he's been having some gastrointestinal problems lately. Ate the leg off a table the other day.
Oh, that's too bad.
Miss Gray, the doctor's waiting.
That's all right. I'm not in any big rush. Why don't you go ahead, please? Well, you look great.
I heard that you retired. Just retired myself.
I just went back to work.
Our timing never was very good, was it, Max?
Daddy won't remember that you have to brush your teeth in the morning and the evening, so you have to tell him.
Okay.
Don't forget your vitamin. Try to eat some protein every now and again, and you call me every day.
She's going to be in London, staying at the Savoy with her father. She'll be fine.
Sweetie, I know it's going to be a little strange being away from home all week, but you're going to be okay.
Daddy says we're going to ride on a double-decker bus and see the changing of the guard.
It's normal to be a little worried about being away from Mommy.
I'm not worried. We're going to have tea and cucumber sandwiches every day.
There's a carpool.
Well, that's good. Well, that's great. I guess being away from Mommy for a whole week halfway around the world isn't such a big deal for a big 6-year-old like you.
I'll be worried if you want me to be, Mommy.
Oh, no, sweetie. I just want you to have a great time and drink all the tea in London and come back to me as soon as you can, because you're Mommy's baby.
You gonna be all right?
I don't know. Okay, I'll accept the respondent's admission and find he's made this decision knowingly, intelligently, and voluntarily. Can I see the respondent's social history, please? One thing that troubles me, Mr. Mayhern. As you recall, I arraigned Mr. Rosas on what was, at the time, a charge of aggravated rape of a 14-year-old girl. At that arraignment, he was Jack the Ripper. Now you're giving him a walk with this reduced charge. What gives?
May we approach, Your Honor?
I can hear you loud and clear from here.
To be candid, we know that Mr. Rosas was present at the rape. We're just not exactly sure what his role was.
Really? Then why is he admitting to anything? Why not go to trial?
My client was there. The evidence could support a charge of assault in the third, and that's what Mr. Rose is prepared to admit to.
Well, there's assault, and then there's assault. Given the nature of this particular offense and this offender, including his prior record, I will accept the plea. However, disposition is another matter. I'm committing Mr. Rosas to DCF with his initial placement at Long Lane with the maximum period permitted by law.
That's not the deal, man. That's not what you told me.
Control yourself, Mr. Rosas.
You said no time. That was the deal, man. You lied to me.
Bailiff, lead him out.
This is bull, man. This is whack.
All right, let's be nice.
Man, shut up, pig. This really sucks, man. You screwed me, bitch. You screwed me bad. We had a deal, remember?
I love your shoes.
Let go of me.
Miss Sandoval?
You from DCF?
Yes, I'm Maxine Gray.
Here.
Can we talk for a minute, Miss Sandoval? Before we decide what to do, I need to know a little bit about what happened.
Stephanie went out last night and left the baby. I didn't know a thing about it until I heard him crying this morning. I went into her room and the baby's in the crib, soaking wet, screaming his head off, and Stephanie is God knows where. I've had it, Miss Gray, I'm telling you.
Stephanie didn't ask you to watch Leo?
No, I didn't even know she was gone. You know, this is not the first time she's done this either. It's every weekend. You know, I am Stephanie's foster parent, not the baby's. I got 3 other foster kids in this house. I can't be babysitting.
I understand. How long has Stephanie been gone?
She went to bed last night with the girls around 9, and I haven't seen her since. You know, that girl has no sense about her. God, she's breastfeeding, right? But sometimes she forgets. Half the time, she doesn't even change his diaper.
Stephanie is 16?
She's a mother. Mothers are not supposed to abandon their babies.
How is Stephanie with Leo? Gentle? Does she play with him, make sure he gets to his doctor appointments?
Sure, when she remembers. You know, I don't have any children of my own, Mrs. Gray. I thought I was doing something good here, taking in these girls with their babies, but she's not even grateful. Doesn't even seem to care.
It's hard to be 16 and have a baby.
Too bad. At some point in life, we have to stop making...
Leo? What's going on?
Your Honor, we move to dismiss. There is no case here. The mere presence of Mr. Pratt during the commission of this murder does not constitute a crime.
He walked into the bedroom where Mr. Hart was restraining and brutalizing Angie Parrish, grabbed a jacket, and walked out.
It is not against the law to see a crime and not report it.
Darren Pratt knew what John Hart was doing with Miss Parrish in that bedroom. The two friends shared an interest in violent pornography. This was the fulfillment of a sick fantasy.
That is pure conjecture. If anything, Mr. Pratt's crime was one of neglect. He didn't help Angie Parrish. It is not anyone's responsibility to put his own life in danger to help another. For all Mr. Pratt knew, if he tried to stop Mr. Hart, his 6'2", 220-pound friend might have turned on him.
Okay, I've heard enough. Miss Dodson, I am as sickened and as outraged as you are by Mr. Pratt's inaction and indifference. However, moral reprehensibility is not a crime. You have to participate, to do something affirmatively to assist in the commission of a criminal act. Regrettably, what Mr. Pratt did or didn't do in this case did not violate any of the state laws of Connecticut. And we have rejected the notion of guilt by association. Therefore, I move to uphold this motion to dismiss and order that Darren Pratt be released from custody. Get out of my courtroom, Mr. Pratt. I'm through with you. 10-minute recess.
Coward! That boy killed my daughter. He stood by and he watched her die, and you are a coward!
It's for the 19th century. That son of a bitch would never have made it to a courtroom. A lynch mob would have taken care of him. I'm not sure if that's such a bad thing. I exaggerate.
Kid's a punk. I know guys like that. He'll be a sinner one day. Next up, you got the Weststone custody dispute. Here are the psych evaluations.
These people hate me.
Hey, folks are happy when they win and pissed off when they lose. That's the way it is.
You're right. You know, I just thought that if I was nice and thoughtful and studied the law, people would appreciate that. What? Everybody loves Judge Judy. Oh, yeah, look at that. He laughs.
I'm sorry. Oh, by the way, a guy named Tracy called. He'll pick you up at 7. Wear a sweater.
Thank you.
Okay, Leo, here we go.
Please, no. Please, you can't do this to me. You don't understand. I'll never do it again. I made a mistake
I am his social worker, and as of now, I am responsible for his safety.
Yeah, I know what you do. You people have been messing with my life since I could walk. He's my baby. He's the only thing I have.
We'll take good care of it.
He's not gonna know who I
This
am.
is temporary. You'll get a chance to talk to the judge at the hearing.
No. Please, you can't do this to me. I promise I'll never do it again. You're not sorry. You're not sorry about anything.
It's my job. And it sometimes stinks.
Who are you? No, I don't need you. I don't need anybody.
Hospital records you summoned her here, Your Honor. By the way, love your hair.
Thank you, Donna. All right. Mr. and Mrs. Whetstone, regarding the custody of your daughter, Karen. I've read the psych evaluation, and what concerns me is Karen. According to the report, she's a very disturbed little girl. This looks very official. What's going on, guys?
We need a moment, Judge, in your chambers.
Well, can I wait till later? I'm in the middle of a hearing.
There's been a threat.
A threat?
Against you. Call a recess.
A call came into the main switchboard today about 11:35. It was a male voice. He said, "Judge Gray is dead. We know where to find her, and we're going to get her good." Sounded like it was made from a phone booth.
Well, that narrows it down.
Have you rendered any verdicts recently that might be controversial?
Yeah.
My office is handling the investigation. In the meantime, we'll put you under guard. Get a tap on your phone at home and in chambers.
We're adding a state trooper in court, and you'll be followed by an undercover car at all times.
Isn't this overkill? I mean, threats like this must come in all the time.
Judge Ellis was shot to death 2 years ago in the parking garage by an angry plaintiff.
Oh, my God.
We don't mean to frighten you, Judge Gray. We're just not leaving anything to chance. We'll keep you posted.
Stephanie is second-generation foster kid. Her mom was raised in the system, and she abandoned Stephanie when she was 2.
I read her file.
She desperately doesn't want Leo to end up the same way.
She left her baby in a crib and went out all night. She's not desperate enough, Miss Holbrook.
I have been her child advocate for 4 years. I've seen Stephanie go through some horrendous experiences. Numerous foster homes, sexual molestation, physical abuse. She doesn't know what it is to be a good parent because she has never seen one. You people don't seem to understand that. You're the reason why she is the way she is.
I have a 4-month-old infant that deserves to be safe. Stephanie has you. Someone needs to speak for him.
Stephanie is breastfeeding. She deserves a chance to bond with her baby. If your department insists on separating them, you'll have the death of this family on your conscience.
Miss Holbrook, I agree. The system is a disaster, but I'm not the system. I'm Maxine Gray, and my job is to do right by this little boy. So I'm going to ask you, do you really, truly feel that a 4-month-old infant in the care of this young woman will be safe? Because that's what I'm looking at.
I don't know. I hope so.
My mom is a really good person. And she loves me very much. I know that. But sometimes her thinking gets all mixed up.
Can you tell me some more about that?
Well, she used to be okay, like a normal mom. But after the car accident when I was 9, everything changed. Now, she thinks the CIA keeps track of us wherever we go. So we have to move a lot, sometimes in the middle of the night. And we sleep in our car.
Do you go to school, Darcy?
Not this year. We spend a lot of time in front of the Canadian consulate because Mom feels safe there. She doesn't like me to be out of her sight.
Your Honor, when DCF removed Darcy from her mother's custody, they were living in their car. The child hadn't had a bath for some time.
How's your mom treat you?
My mom would never hurt me. She's always saying I'm her only reason for living. She's just trying to protect me, Judge. But she's so worried and scared all the time. And I want to go to school and have friends and be normal. I really love her, Judge. I swear I do. But please don't make me go back to live with her.
Thank you, Darcy.
Thank you. What?
Yeah, you laughed.
The seduction scene's very, very funny.
All right. Yeah, that's good. Oh, no, funny's good.
Uh-huh.
You didn't laugh at the part at the beginning where he's talking about his mother?
No, I thought that was funny. I just laughed to myself.
All right, you don't have to humor me. If you don't like it, I want you to tell me. And I want you to be honest.
Vincent, go away.
Right, okay.
I finished. It was wonderful.
Really?
Vincent. Vincent, I had no idea you could write like this. I feel like an idiot asking you to write about my dumb boxes.
No, look. I mean, writing is writing. It's even better when you get paid for it. You really liked it?
You're a talent.
I haven't let anyone read anything of mine since college.
Thank you.
Judge Gray, I'm Detective Redlick. I'll be escorting you home.
Oh,
Fred's bringing your car around to the back door. We'd like you to avoid the garage.
well, that's service.
Fred, I've got Jag. We're on our way out of the building. Copy?
Jag?
10-4. Judge Amy Gray. You ready?
Judge Gray, can I ask you something?
Well, I'm just leaving.
It's kind of important.
Officer Redlick, would you excuse us for a minute?
Yeah, I'll just stand over here.
Judge Gray, I just want you to know I think you're doing a great job.
Thank you, Donna. I appreciate that. I appreciate all your support. I think you're doing a great job, too.
Thanks.
Did you want to ask me something?
Yeah. Judge Gray, I'm getting married.
Well, that's wonderful. Congratulations.
And I've been trying to get up the nerve to ask you this all month. Would you perform the ceremony?
Sure. I'd love to. It's
day after tomorrow.
Wow, that's soon. Where?
Hartford Correctional Center. He's an inmate.
I see.
He's in for first-degree murder, but he didn't do it.
Ah.
I'm going to law school at night so I can be his lawyer, get him a retrial.
Terrific. Let me just check my calendar.
Ridiculous.
Coming. Simon.
Butterscotch pie.
Oh, how sweet. Come on in. You like salmon, if I remember correctly. I'm trying a new recipe.
Sounds great.
Usually I would just poach it, but then I thought, poach salmon. Everybody poaches salmon. For God's sake, Maxine, get creative. Wine? So I found this recipe. It calls for brown sugar, butter, and liquid smoke in one of those absurdly complicated cooking magazines. It's a ludicrous procedure. You score the skin, season it, marinate it for 24 hours. By the time you're finished with the whole process, you feel like you ought to shellac the thing and hang it on the... wall.
I've been wanting to do that for 12 years.
I know.
They didn't have Dolce Vita, but I got Terminator.
You didn't.
No, I didn't, but I wanted to. What's this?
I thought we'd celebrate
Celebrate what?
your brilliant career.
Uh-huh. That's hardly a career at this point, but I appreciate the sentiment.
Did I ever tell you one of my best friends from college, an editor at Random House?
No, you didn't.
Well, she is. Back to side note. I called her this afternoon and told her about you.
Chris.
She said short fiction is what's selling now. She asked me to send her your story. I faxed it to her. To your next pushcart prize. Vincent, this is great news. If she likes it, she'll want to see more. You could end up with a publisher.
Yeah, no, I'm right. I guess you're right.
Come on. Let's eat.
Still there?
Yep.
Sorry about all this.
No, hey, I kind of like it. Keeps me from giving in to my baser instincts.
You want to come in?
Sure.
My mother's probably asleep. Not that it matters.
It's okay. Mothers love me. Mothers and, four-legged animals.
Really? You know, Bob, I think we can make it from here to the door.
Okie doke, just holler if you need me.
You bet.
You get a lot of work out of that.
We do. You want some coffee?
Sure. Yeah.
Mom. Amy, you remember Simon McKinley?
How you doing?
Good. Mom, Simon, this is Tracy Carroll.
Maxine. Maxine Gray's your mother. Why didn't I know that?
I don't know why. Why would you know that?
Oh, Tracy and I go way back. Still making a buck on the backs of young victims?
Okay, Mom, let's go in the kitchen.
What?
Let's go in the kitchen. Are you drunk?
Are you?
I don't know what's going on, but Tracy is a guest in our house. I can't believe you said that to him.
I didn't invite him, and it's my house, thank you.
What is your problem?
Amy, that man is a fraud. I can't tell you how many cases he's testified in where his judgment was completely off base.
Why does that matter? I'm dating him. I'm not listening to his testimony.
He was always late. He never wore a tie, and he jangled the change in his pocket incessantly, not to mention the whistling.
These are not reasons to dislike someone.
He works with unsavory dolls, and he talks to children like they're ninnies. That's who you're going out with.
Mom, I cannot believe this.
Believe it. He's an idiot.
No, what I don't believe is that you're doing this to me.
I'm not doing anything to you. He's bad at his job. If you want to go out with him, well, you be the judge. My salmon's getting cold.
My office is a mess.
I'm so sorry. I don't know if it's change of life or what.
I think it's just your mother. She doesn't like me.
No. It's not she doesn't like you. She's just opinionated.
No, I think we can say she doesn't like me. But that's okay. She doesn't like any child psychologists. It's up here someplace. This book on juvenile witnesses is really wonderful. It'll really help you out. I'll just get it, and then we can go back to my place. If that's okay with you.
Yeah. That's great. I wonder how Detective Redlick is doing out there.
I'm sure he's fine.
Well, I've never had a bodyguard. I'm not quite sure of the etiquette.
You know, why don't we just pretend that, he's not there?
Hershey, did you find that book?
No.
I missed the bus.
Stephanie, you're an hour late. I have to go.
But what about our meeting? We're gonna talk, right?
We were. Unfortunately, I have another appointment.
So you're just gonna use this against me, aren't you? It's not my fault, okay? The bus came early and that pisshead driver wouldn't stop for me. I had to walk all the way from 4th Street.
It was your responsibility to get here on time. I have 48 hours to make my recommendation, and you have just wasted an hour of that.
I want my baby back.
I believe you.
I love him. I do. I love him so much. It's everyone else in this world I can't stand. He's the only one who's there for me.
Leo is not supposed to be there for you. You are supposed to be there for him. Right now, I don't think you understand the difference.
I do. No, I do. And I'm gonna be 18 soon, and I'm gonna get a place of my own and a job.
You missed two of Leo's last well-child checkups. He hasn't been vaccinated for hepatitis B, polio, DPT.
It's not my fault. I couldn't get a ride to the clinic.
There isn't always going to be a ride available. No one makes being a parent convenient. Being a parent is a struggle to stay a couple steps ahead of the kid.
Blah, blah, blah. You know, I've heard this lecture a million times before. Okay, you're not telling me anything new. I'm doing the best that I can. And I'm sure as hell doing a better job than my mother did.
What would you do to get your baby back?
Anything.
Would you go to school? Stay in your foster home, follow the rules, make all of Leo's doctor's visits, take parenting classes?
Your Honor, there's no connection between my client's so-called psychiatric diagnosis and her ability to parent. Paula Mitchell is a devoted mother. As you can see, Darcy is healthy and well-fed. Beside the school issue, which she hopes to rectify, there's no evidence of imminent physical danger, no reason for extending the OTC.
Thank you, Mr. Pinelli. Ms. Reyes. The question is it in this child's best interest to be at the whim of a woman who lives in such fear that she forces her daughter to live in a car and pull up stakes at a moment's notice? Obviously, Miss Mitchell loves Darcy. And as Mr. Pinelli has pointed out, there is no evidence of imminent physical danger in the traditional sense. However, given Miss Mitchell's perception of danger or threat and resulting action, there is a real issue concerning her ability to keep her child safe. At this juncture, I'm going to sustain the OTC.
Judge, could I talk?
Sure, Darcy.
Please help my mom. She's all alone now, and I'm afraid she could hurt herself or something really bad could happen to her.
I agree. Ms. Mitchell, I've instructed your social worker to make sure you get the appropriate services and proper medical care. I'm hoping that one day soon you and your daughter will be reunited. It's clear how much she loves you.
Hey, is that you?
No, it's me.
Hi. Lori, right?
Right. You're
Vincent.
right. The author. My mom around?
No, she had to go to the gallery.
So, how old are you anyway?
28. Why?
My mother's very attractive, don't you think?
Yeah, I do.
A lot of people think she's younger than she really is.
This must be weird for you, me and your mom.
Oh, no, I'm used to it. Mom loves a project. Not that you're a project or anything, but she's just that kind of person. She likes discovering people. Men, mainly. So where'd she meet you? Wait, let me guess. You look handy. Hardware store, right? I'm kidding! My mom told me where she met you. Let her know I came by, will you?
Yeah.
Look, I appreciate all the effort you guys have gone to, but it's been 2 days and I haven't received any more threats and no one's made any attempt on my life. So if it's all the same to you, I'd like to lose the bodyguards.
I think that's a big mistake.
I agree. We don't know where the threat came from.
We may never know. This is family court. Let's be honest, some days half my courtroom wants to see me dead. But what am I going to do, walk around with armed guards the rest of my life?
Our usual procedure is to keep the security up for at least a week before we reevaluate.
Judge Ellis
Was a tragedy, but he drove around with personalized license plates that said, I'm a judge. I mean, come on.
We'll keep the investigation open at Hartford PD.
It's fine. Now, if you gentlemen will excuse me.
How about I follow you home?
Oh, Bruce. No, I appreciate it, but to be perfectly honest, I'm looking forward to a little bit of privacy.
All right, then. I'll see you tomorrow.
Hi. I was hoping you hadn't left yet.
I had some dictation to do.
Can I come in?
Sure.
I suppose you're wondering what happened last night.
A little bit.
Well, I just wanted to say it wasn't you. I like you a lot, Tracy.
You know, if this is one of those it's not you, it's me conversations, let's just cut to the chase.
No. I don't mean that. I mean, I'm attracted to you.
Huh? Likewise.
So what happened last night was just one of those strange anomalies that can only be explained by the moon or the cop outside or my mother.
You know, your mother and I may not see eye to eye on most things, but
Look, let's forget about my mother. Let's start all over again. Tonight's a whole new night. You know what? I can't do this. I'm sorry.
Just because your mother doesn't like me?
No, of course not. Okay, well, that bothers me a little bit, but that's not the problem.
I understand. It's your first time since your divorce.
No, not really. Look, if we do this, it means something.
Doesn't have to.
No, I mean, I can't do it without it meaning something. And I don't think I want it to mean anything. I'm sorry.
I think I preferred the it's not you, it's me version better.
My daughter belongs with me.
Miss Mitchell, you should not be here.
You did this. Why? I don't understand.
I don't think we should be having this conversation. If you want to...
Oh, I did everything I was supposed to. I kept my mouth shut. I didn't call the Canadian consulate. They jammed my radar. They told me to stay in my car. And you stole my baby.
Miss Mitchell, this is a big mistake. Darcy needs you to keep it together. So be her mom and put the gun away.
You destroyed that. She's not mine anymore. I have nothing. Do you want to know what that feels like?
No, please, listen to me. Darcy loves you. She just wants you to get better, and then you two can be together.
We'll never be together. No, please. No, please. It's over.
Well, thank you very much, Detective. The cops found her barefoot and disoriented on McCadden. He admitted her to county psych ward on a 5150.
Amy, how could you have not told me about this? I'm your mother. Don't I still get to know when you're in trouble?
Ma.
Someone threatens your life and you don't mention it to me?
I didn't want you to worry.
Why? There's no statute of limitations on worrying about your kids. Just because they turn 18 and drive and drink and vote, you don't stop worrying. This happened in our garage.
I'm sorry, Ma. The threat just didn't seem like such a big deal.
Amy, the people that come into your courtroom every day are filled with impotence and rage. It's inevitable that the
Oh, Ma, please don't lecture me. I don't think I could take it at 6 o'clock in the morning.
I lecture you because you won't listen. You have a very dangerous job.
I know that, Ma. I know. I'm 35 years old. I don't need you to tell me how to do my job or whom to date or how to fix my hair. I'm an adult.
Then act like one. You have more to think about than yourself.
I have to take a shower.
I don't tell you how to do your job, and I would never presume to tell you whom to date.
Oh, no? You having short-term memory loss now?
If you don't want my opinions, I'll keep them to myself. As for your hair, well, the way a judge is perceived affects her ability to do her job. That's a fact. I guess I just hoped that since we lived together, we could be honest with each other.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, it's not doing anyone any favors. So it's not.
Why bother to talk at all, then? We could just write each other notes on stickies when we want to communicate. Here's one now.
Oh, that's nice, Ma. That's really nice. Okay, you want to talk? You go first. Let's talk about you and Simon. What was that the other night? A date?
wasn't a date, it was dinner.
I saw you, Ma. I saw the look on your face.
I don't know what you're talking about.
We all knew about you and Simon. At least I did.
What?
It was so obvious whenever you two were together. And poor Dad, he always thought Simon was such a great guy, and then meanwhile...
That's enough! If you want the truth, I'll tell you. Simon McKinley and I came to care for each other 15 years ago. It was a difficult time for both of us. Your father was depressed, Simon's marriage was ending. We needed each other. But you listened to me. Nothing sexual ever happened. I was never unfaithful to your father.
Well, that's great, Ma.
Have you been writing all night?
Yeah.
Good. I just got off the phone with my friends, the Waldemers. Invited them to dinner tonight.
Okay.
I want you to be here, Vincent. I think they could be very helpful to you.
Really?
They're very well connected. Duncan's a professor of literature at Yale, and Muriel's a big fundraiser for public TV, so they know everybody. Duncan specializes in semiotics, so feel free to mention that class you took on Finnegan's Wake. Do you want a suit?
I don't think I'm gonna be able to make it.
Oh, well, next week then.
Chris, I appreciate the fact that you liked my story. I more than appreciate it. But I'm not gonna be anybody's project.
My project? But because I sent your story to a
You have
friend?
no right to send my story to anybody without asking me first.
Okay, I guess I should have checked with you. I was just trying to help.
I don't need your help. And I don't need a suit.
Vincent? What's this?
It's the entire catalog of Chris Osborne decorative boxes. Hope they're a big success.
Go to hell.
Mrs. Gray? Mrs. Gray, thank you. Thank you so much for giving me my baby back.
The babies belong with their mothers if their mothers are willing to try.
I'm gonna take such good care of him, I promise.
You damn well better. Because if that baby so much as gets the hiccups, I'll personally find a loving family who will care for Leo the way you say you want to. With me, you get one chance to be good at the most important job you will ever have in your life. Do you understand that? Please say yes.
Yes.
Okay. I'll see you next week. 9 o'clock.
Okay.
Sharp!
Do you, Donna Kozlowski, take this man, Oscar Ray Pant Jr., to be your lawful wedded husband, for richer and poorer, in sickness and health, forsaking all others, for as long as you both shall live?
I do.
Do you, Oscar Ray Pant Jr., take Donna Kozlowski to be your lawful wedded wife, for richer, for poorer, in sickness and in health, forsaking all others, for as long as you both shall live?
You bet.
Donna tells me that you've written your own vows.
That's right.
Oscar, you are my everything. Meeting you changed my life and gave me a purpose. I love you more than I can express in words. You are my noble knight, locked away in the dungeon. I will forever be your princess. You complete me.
Donna, my one love, my beautiful angel, you've given me hope. In the depth of darkness and despair, the light of your love, show me the way. You light up my life. You give me hope to carry on. You light up my days.
can feel. I didn't cry that much at my own wedding. What would happen to me? It was just so simple and uncomplicated. It's just two people really connecting with each other. And you know what? It wasn't about sex. They will never consummate that marriage. It was about two people really loving each other.
What's he in for?
Heck, his mother to death with a meat cleaver.
Nice.
These people don't have commitment problems.
Is that what's wrong with you?
I don't know. I don't think so. I really tried with Tracy. But I found myself almost sleeping with him just to show Mom. And then it occurred to me that was a big mistake. I wasn't ready. He was the wrong guy. I just wanted to go home and watch TV.
I know exactly what you mean. I blew up my relationship today.
Why?
For no good reason. Because I was afraid.
What?
I don't know. Her expectations. Yeah, I saw who she wanted me to be. I knew there was no way I could live up to that. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah. I married that.
I knew I shouldn't get involved. That we can never be together without it meaning something. Stupid. So I ended up hurting her.
It's weird what happens when a marriage dies. They say it's the end of a dream. I think that's true.
It's precisely why I've never gotten married.
Yeah, but just because the dream dies doesn't mean you stop dreaming, does it?
We had Mom and Dad as role models. They were married for, 27 years? You'd think we'd be better at this sort of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, you think. I guess what it comes down to is nothing's perfect. And nothing's easy. Starving. How many cases till lunch?
Just one.
Good. Stand back and observe how fast I can work when my stomach's involved. Mr. Dobbs, you're on.
Your Honor, I'm representing the Attorney General for the preliminary hearing regarding the DCF's petition to terminate parental rights of one Ann Featherstone to her son Evan.
Is Miss Featherstone here?
She's right here, Your Honor.
Go on, Mr. Dobbs.
Mr. Axelrod, father of Evan Axelrod, has provided DCF with extensive information that the Attorney General believes will amply demonstrate Ms. Featherstone's unfitness as a mother, as well as a clear and imminent danger to her child.
Child's age?
He's 8 years old, ma'am.
Mr. Axelrod,
Yes, Your Honor.
did the Attorney General accurately represent your position?
Yes, ma'am. I don't think my son is safe in his mother's care.
Now, I see here that you never married Miss Featherstone. You've had very little contact with your son. Why are you taking this action now?
Because it's only recently that the boy's mother has become a witch.
What?
A witch.
Mr. Axelrod, I think you'll have to qualify that statement.
He doesn't know what he's talking about.
This is just a show cause hearing, Miss Featherstone. You'll have plenty of opportunity to present your side of the story. Mr. Axelrod, when you say that she's a witch, you mean... What do you mean?
I mean, she's a witch.
Miss Featherstone, what's going on?
He's never been a part of Evan's life, or mine. He sends a check whenever he feels like it. Suddenly he's gotten married and now he wants to be a father. He can't just take my child away like that. Please, don't let him manipulate you, Your Honor. This is a vicious...
Hold on, Miss Featherstone. First, I need to clear something up. Why does he think you're a witch?
Well, technically speaking, I am a witch.
Two kids, boy 16, girl 15. School nurses reported incidents of chronic bruising. Teachers have reported incidents of acting out, inappropriate sexualized behavior. Anyway, the family's name is Compson. They live over by Westbourne. Just a moment. That name is familiar. Well, they're repeat customers. DCF investigated the same family 5 years ago.
But they lived in Marlowe.
That's right. They moved to Westbourne a few years ago.
I worked that case. We went out a couple of times.
but nothing was ever established.
Well, unfortunately, most of the paperwork's disappeared. Was there evidence of abuse?
It was inconclusive. Judge Cranston believed she's just accident-prone defense.
What do you think was really going on?
I wasn't the lead investigator. I inherited the case. The oldest boy would beat up on the girl. She'd beat up on the neighbor's kid. Something was very wrong in that family.
Well, if that's still the case, try not to miss it this time. Get out there for a family clinical assessment.
I hope the third kid is having an easier time of it.
Third kid?
A toddler, little boy. He had that condition with the, pediatric myopia. Wore the Coke bottle glasses.
Wrong family. Only 2 kids there.
No, I'm pretty sure I'm right.
Next saying the information is clear. And you don't always have to be right.
I don't mean dumb fakos like in a white sheet going, ooh. I mean real dead people. Get lost, kid.
What are you guys talking about?
You can't listen. You're too young.
I'm in the 1st grade. I stay up until 9 o'clock.
Okay, if you really want to hear, I'm talking about the ghost of the redcoat.
There's no such thing as ghost.
Oh, yeah? He was a British soldier in the Revolutionary War until one day he was captured by the Bluecoats and thrown into the dungeon. All they gave him to eat was one tiny little bowl of porridge every day with bugs crawling around in it.
Bugs?
Hundreds of bugs. After a while, he got so weak he couldn't stop the rats from eating him. First they ate his eyes, then they ate his tongue. Now, every year at Halloween, the ghost of the redcoat comes back. He goes by every house, looking in the windows, looking for kids to get, especially little girls with long hair. And if he catches you looking at him, he kidnaps you, and he steals your voice, and he locks you in a dungeon for the rest of your life.
Wicca is probably the oldest religion in the world. Thousands of years older than Christianity.
It's not a religion. It's a bunch of nutcases who run around in the woods in long robes with deer antlers on their heads.
Don't interrupt, Mr. Axelrod. This conference may be off the record. Doesn't mean I'm not in charge.
Your Honor, we might practice some elaborate rituals, which to an outsider might seem strange, but you can say the same thing about Catholicism.
Catholics don't chant and cast spells.
No, they just light candles and pray to saints. What's the difference?
I'm warning you about these outbursts, Mr. Axelrod.
Your Honor, I mean no offense, but are we going to get a history lecture on Wiccanism?
Yeah, if your office is going to allege that Ms. Featherstone's practice of witchcraft is dangerous to her son, then I have to know what witchcraft is. Now, Ms. Featherstone, continue.
Your Honor, the word witch gives everyone the wrong idea. We don't go around putting hexes on people. We're just trying to live in a way that's closer to nature.
Your Honor, I move for a summary dismissal of this petition at this time. The Attorney General has not come remotely near the suggestion of any substantive concerns that justify violating my client's civil rights.
Mr. Dobbs, so far, I haven't heard anything that represents a danger to the child.
I'm getting to that, Your Honor. Last month, Miss Featherstone discontinued administering an antibiotic that the boy's pediatrician had prescribed for an ear infection. Mr. Axelrod took the boy back to the doctor, got him back on the medicine. Medical reports indicate that there could have been permanent hearing loss imminent.
We have records stating that the boy's situation was never that serious.
Your Honor, may I say something?
Go ahead.
Your Honor, these people are insane. They chant and offer burnt offerings to weird pagan gods you never heard of. It's crazy, and I don't want my child exposed to it.
For 8 years, you never cared what he was exposed to.
And you're sick. You need help.
You abandoned us. You're using this to steal my child. What you're doing is sick. It's evil.
Your Honor, can't you see that?
I'm not on trial here, Anne.
Okay, calm down. I'm going to set this for trial. But I want to hear evidence, not mudslinging. Parental rights are at stake here, and I want you all to treat this with the seriousness it deserves.
I miss your office hours?
Ah, there he is. Favorite wretched, ink-stained, miserable literary genius.
No, I'm not miserable. Miserable is when I was taking your class.
I'm always hardest on my best students.
Did anybody actually fall for that? So what's a big mystery? Why'd you call me?
I've finally had a chance to read your stories.
And?
You want the truth?
No. No, I don't know. I want to hear that they're brilliant.
The truth is they are brilliant.
Really?
Vincent, I've been betting on you for years. Periodically, an agent will call me to see if I'm onto anything new. So I took a chance and sent your stories. Apparently, the Board of Geniuses at Artists' Literary Talent responded to your work.
Artist Literary Talent?
Yeah.
Really?
One of the agents was a fellow English student here. She remembers you. Her name was Hillary Baker.
Hillary Baker?
Mm-hmm.
No.
What?
Hillary Baker is the single most evil entity I've encountered in my life.
So she became an agent. So what else is new?
I don't know how long I can work with this Susie Nixon person. She treats me like I'm an idiot.
The world is full of annoying people, Mom. Just try not to be one of them. That's what you used to tell me.
She never talks to me. She talks at me.
Can I be excused now?
I'm ready. You haven't eaten anything.
I'm not hungry.
Kitchen still open?
When is it not?
My roommate's breaking up with his girlfriend again. I'm kicked out.
Those two need to get married.
You know, Vincent, I've never even seen this phantom apartment. I don't think it exists.
You can bite your own risk.
Can I go watch TV now, Mom?
No. Stay and visit with us. Hey, guess whose mommy is going to a PTA meeting tomorrow night at your school?
Whose?
Yours.
I'd rather be burnt at the stake than go to one of those.
Yes, you have made that abundantly clear my entire life.
Those meetings have a diabolical effect. Normal people turn into tyrants. It's just like high school with the cliques and the conspiring.
Well, I want to be part of the clique. I want to feel like a normal mom. Besides, we're going to be talking about the Halloween carnival. It should be fun.
Well, maybe the PTA has changed since my day.
Any of you thought about what you want to be for Halloween? It's coming up.
Not really.
Vampires are always cool. Long fangs, big cape, lots of fake blood.
I don't know.
I can tell you from first-hand experience that the trick-or-treating in this town is first-rate. It's pure junk. None of that healthy stuff like apples.
Maybe I shouldn't go trick-or-treating this year. I think I'm growing out of candy.
Growing out of candy? What have you done with my daughter?
Besides, it rots your teeth.
Honey, you love Halloween. It's your favorite time of year.
Can I be excused now, Mom? I really want to watch TV.
Sure. Okay. That's not normal.
Give her time, she'll come around.
Yeah, but what if she doesn't? We can't miss Halloween. It's like missing Christmas.
Don't worry, Amy. I'll go trick-or-treating with you.
You know, it's this damn witch trial. I bet she heard something about it at school. That's why she's so scared.
Which trial?
I didn't say that.
Amy?
I gotta go talk to Lauren.
She did say witch trial.
It's been known to happen.
So what's the occasion? I thought I wasn't allowed to walk into class.
I just felt like it today.
You thought any more about Halloween?
No.
You go as a cowgirl. I went as a cowgirl 3 years in a row. I could teach you to say, reach for the sky, partner.
No thanks.
Lauren, what's wrong? What are you afraid of?
Nothing. Mommy, can I get my hair cut short?
What?
I'm tired of long hair.
Since when? Honey, I love your long hair. It's beautiful. Sweetie, I wish you would tell me what's bothering you.
Promise you'll think about it? Me getting a haircut?
Yeah. I'll think about it.
I gotta go. Bye, Mom.
Kiss.
When I think of all our taxes paying your salary, the way we've had to struggle to raise our children properly, well, it hurts to have our home invaded like this.
The DCF doesn't choose who we investigate. We're required to follow up on all reports. But you probably know that based on your previous experiences with DCF, don't you, Mrs. Compson?
That was years ago and nothing ever came of that.
No school for you today?
I'm sick. She has asthma. It flares up every now and then.
Teresa's school nurse has stated that she's concerned about excessive bruising. Any idea where that's coming from?
We play field hockey in gym class. I bruise easy.
She's got thin skin. It's hereditary.
Teresa, is there something you want to tell me?
What's going on?
This is Maxine. She's a social worker. My husband works nights. He usually gets up around this time.
I see. Where's your son, Kenneth?
In school.
And the other boy?
We don't have another boy.
Well, Mrs. Compson, you probably don't remember this, but I came to see you 5 years ago on assignment. I looked a little different, less gray, a couple pounds lighter. I distinctly recall you had another son. I think his name was Timothy.
The neighbor's kids played in our house a lot. Maybe you're thinking of that.
Maybe so.
Mr. Axelrod has learned that Ms. Featherstone sometimes conducts her Wiccan ceremonies in her home, ceremonies that Evan might have participated in.
Is that true?
It's true we have ceremonies.
What do those ceremonies entail?
Different things.
Give me a for instance.
Well, first we cast a circle to sanctify the space, and then we'll bless it with the elements, calling in the watchtowers of the north, south, east, west.
I see.
And then we might invoke certain gods or goddesses or other deities. It depends on what you're doing that day.
Is Evan ever involved?
You might watch, but that's all. I swear. It's completely harmless.
Satanic rituals are harmless?
Objection! No one mentions Satan.
Your Honor, Satan is derived from Christian philosophy. We don't acknowledge Satan on any level.
Your Honor, once again, these questions focus on Ms. Featherstone's religious observance and therefore are inadmissible as evidence.
Yeah, I agree. Move on, Mr. Dobbs.
I'd like to present another witness, Your Honor.
Your excuse, Miss Featherstone. State your name.
Joanne Arnold.
You realize you were sworn in earlier and you were under oath.
Yes.
Ms. Arnold was Evan's babysitter until recently.
Why did you stop taking care of Evan?
Because I got scared about what was happening in that house.
Joanne, that's garbage and you know it.
Ms. Arnold?
Make her stop looking at me.
I fired her for stealing $140.
I never took anything from you.
Okay, calm down, Ms. Arnold. Just tell me what happened.
Oh, I happened to tell her that I was worried about my boyfriend, who was starting to act interested in other girls. She told me that she could cast a spell on him, and that made me scared.
Miss Featherstone, did you cast a spell?
Your Honor, a spell is just our word for a prayer.
She said that it would make him impotent with other women.
See, they hate men. And she's passing that on to my son.
Mr. Axelrod.
And her name is not Featherstone, it's Murphy. She changed it after she got involved with the witches.
This is totally irrelevant. Again, Your Honor, I demand that Miss Featherstone's religious beliefs are protected.
You're taking some liberties here, Mr. Carr. It's protected in theory only. Wicca is not an established religion in this state.
I'd like to present another witness, Your Honor.
No.
No.
Approach the bench. You're excused. We're getting nowhere with this. A scared babysitter is not a substantial witness. You cannot bring me a parade of people to impugn this woman's character.
I agree, Your Honor.
And you're trying to convince me that Wicca is in the same league as the Rotary Club. Well, it's not. I need to view this case rationally, and to do that, I need rational evidence. Now, I'm going to set one more day for this trial, during which time I better hear something worth trying.
Well, Vincent, Hillary speaks very highly of your work. She's only been with us a few months, and she's already brought us some promising clients. I've learned to trust her instinct about writers.
I can't argue with her instincts.
You're a short story writer, I understand.
That's right.
Won the Pushcart Prize. Then dropped out of sight.
Well, I needed some time to think.
I see. Well, I have an appointment, so I'll leave you two alone. If you impress Hillary, then you impress me. Nice to meet you.
You too.
Senior agents. They like to stick their nose in the room and take credit for my work.
A maneuver you're familiar with.
Really, Vincent? I thought you might at least finish a coffee before you brought that up. Look, I did not steal your story. There are similarities, sure, but, there's nothing new under the sun.
Let's see. Blind widow starts to believe her husband has been reincarnated in the form of a young Iranian boy. No, you're right. That's a universal story.
Okay. Whatever happened in the past, let's put it aside. Okay? It's water under the bridge.
If you say so.
Vincent, do you know how many slender volumes of finely wrought stories are published every month to a giant collective yawn? Taking you on will mean work for me. But I'm a good agent. I can get you published. You want that?
Yeah, of course I want that.
One concern, though. Publishers nowadays, they're pretty much only doing these 2-book deals. That means I've got to trust that you won't have another breakdown like you did in college and leave me to deal with some angry buyer. Can you reassure me of that?
I need to think about this. I need to think about all of this.
Okay. You go think. I'll draw up the papers.
So I told her that my son is the best 6th grade swimmer in the school, and if she didn't see that, what's her problem?
Excuse me, is this decaf for real?
Oh, we only serve decaf. I mean, show me another 11-year-old that can get close to his times.
I'm Amy Gray. I'm a new mom. I mean, new at the school, not at being a mom.
Oh, you're the judge. I've heard about you. I'm Nancy. This is Farah. Who's your child?
Lauren. Cassidy.
Wait a minute. Lauren in Miss Schlewe's class? With the long hair and the big eyes?
Yes, Lauren.
She's adorable. My son, Clive, is in love with her.
Wow, that sounds scary.
We'll have to get them together for a play date.
Great. I'd like that.
Good.
Lauren, what are you doing?
Cutting my hair.
Give me those, please. You are not allowed to handle scissors.
I told Mommy I wanted to cut my hair.
You may not cut your own hair.
It'll take Mommy too long to understand.
Understand what? Lauren. What?
I don't want the ghost to see me and take me away and steal my voice and lock me in a dungeon.
What ghost?
Mad soldier ghost. He locks you in a dungeon away from your family. They say he looks for girls with long hair.
Lauren, there's no such thing as ghosts.
Yes, there is. Darian says grown-ups can't see them.
Who the hell is Darian?
A boy at school. He's 9.
Don't you ever worry about anyone locking you anywhere.
How can you be sure?
I'm sure. I'm old. I've lived long enough to see everything. And if there were ghosts who hurt little girls, I would know.
Why?
Because I raised a little girl. Your mommy. She always had long hair, and she never saw a ghost. Another thing, when I pick you up at school, would you, introduce this Darian to me?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the first order of business is the Halloween Carnival, which is fast approaching. I'll turn it over to Nancy, who is head of the committee.
Several parents and I feel that we should issue a directive to our children this year indicating what kind of costumes we feel are appropriate. No violent action figures, no gangsters, nothing sporting a weapon. Also, no ghosts, monsters, vampires, witches, skeletons.
Come on, what does that leave?
Plenty of things. Disney characters, princesses, sports figures, well, except, of course, for Daryl Strawberry. Just keep in mind that if your children show up at the school party in inappropriate costumes, they will be asked to leave.
I guess I'm confused. Why are we doing this?
We feel it's not a good idea to encourage violence given the current climate in schools.
Well, but that's different. That's not about Halloween.
Oh? What is it about?
I'm sorry. I realize I'm new here, but this seems like a bit of an overreaction. In my work, I see disturbed children all the time. I can't point to a case where the behavior is linked to Halloween costumes.
Look, Miss Gray, committee members have been discussing this for months. Perhaps if you had joined the PTA earlier.
Okay. I should have done that.
If I could move on to the next agenda item.
Please.
We feel that this year the haunted house should be canceled, and we should replace it with a fun house.
Oh, please. Is no one else concerned about this?
You're depriving children of their imaginations. You're taking away the fantasy, the fun. You're censoring them.
Miss Gray, do you want to be in this meeting?
What?
We're all in agreement here. You're holding up the process.
Are you kicking me out?
We do have a lot to get done tonight. We'd be happy to have you stay if you could cooperate.
You mean behave?
Miss Gray, we are perfectly aware that there is a witch trial underway right now in local court.
I can't talk about that.
And if you're trying to argue that our concerns are overblown, this isn't happening in another place, right here in our town. Cult members raising children.
Look, if this is going where I think it's going, you don't have to kick me out because I can't be here. It's against judicial ethics.
Well, that's your call.
They hated me.
I warned you about the PTA.
I've never been kicked out of anything, ever.
Ballet.
Well, except ballet. My teacher was a lunatic.
Summer camp.
I suggested a few reforms.
You let all of the horses out of their stalls.
It was cruel to keep them locked up.
My point is that you're a leader. Leaders don't make good joiners. Try and stick with what you're good at.
For once, I'm not going to fight your advice.
Talked to Lauren last night. I figured out her problem. Some kid at school scared her to death with a ghost story.
That's why she's avoiding Halloween.
And she still doesn't want to go.
Well, I'll talk her into it.
Amy, let her sit it out if she wants to.
Mom, fear is a very dangerous and contagious thing. I have to teach my daughter to work through it, not run away from it. You should know that. You've never run away from anything.
House calls. Is this what agents are doing nowadays?
I live in Connecticut, Vincent. No one can afford to live in the city.
What's this?
Agency papers, just standard contract. That is, if you want to risk signing with us.
Thanks. I'll have my battery of high-priced attorneys go over this.
I was thinking we should discuss your story collection.
Yeah, why? Aren't they finally wrought enough?
I think they should be a novel. Short stories are impossible to sell, and their day is come and gone.
It's not a novel.
Well, I think it should be. They're all linked, right? Smooth them up into a novel. And I think we could take you on.
It's the first time you mentioned turning the collection into a novel.
Hey, look, if you enjoy obscurity, stay there. Or maybe you want to take me to dinner and explain to me why you should not compromise your pristine vision, and who knows? I could be persuaded.
Hillary, I'm sure that there are those people that are turned on by this kind of manipulation. But I'm not one of them.
Hold on to that, okay? For when the dark night of the soul kicks in.
Mrs. Baxter?
Yes?
I'm Maxine Gray. I'm a social worker. I'd like to talk to you about your former neighbors, Noel and Angela Compson. Do you remember them?
Yes, but I haven't seen them or heard a word about them in the 4 or 5 years since they moved.
Ever have any arguments with them?
I doubt I had more than a dozen conversations with them.
Did the children seem okay?
Nobody in that house seemed okay. It got worse after the youngest died.
A little boy?
Right, the one with the thick glasses.
He died?
They used to leave him out in the yard like a pet. And then one day he went away. We stopped seeing him. My husband asked, and Mrs. Compson said that he was very ill. When we never saw him again, we just assumed he died.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Dobbs, have you any more witnesses today, or can we start to wrap this up?
Well, none that you've approved, Your Honor.
Yes, I didn't feel the need to hear from the gas station attendant who claims Miss Featherstone put a hex on him.
Your Honor, I have a witness that I would like to present. I have invited Lyle Warner, an attorney with the Wiccan Anti-Defamation League, to join us.
There's actually such a thing as the Wiccan Anti-Defamation League?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I welcome a voice of reason. Ms. Warner, you've been sworn in?
Yes.
Did Mr. Carr explain that Miss Featherstone's parental rights are at stake?
Yes, I'm often asked to provide background in legal cases where Wicca is involved. I've reviewed the case thoroughly.
And you believe Miss Featherstone is being unfairly accused because of her beliefs?
No.
No?
We are very selective about who we defend, and we're not willing to take up her cause.
Your Honor, this testimony is not what we prepared.
I was only asked to testify. No one told me what to say.
Your Honor, the witness has turned hostile.
Mr. Carr, let me hear her testimony.
Your Honor, Wicca is only just starting to step out of the shadows. We can't afford to put forth a negative public face. Miss Featherstone's behavior does not fit our profile. She isn't our type of person.
Are you saying Miss Featherstone is a bad witch?
Yes, that's what we're saying.
Here it is. Birth records on the Compson family. Mother, Angela H. Father, Noel P. Children, Kenneth J. and Teresa K.
Just 2.
That's right.
I see. Any death records?
Not in the immediate family.
Thank you. Is there any reason you would not have a birth record?
Oh, sure. But babies born out of state or at home, for example, not at a regular medical facility. And some people actively avoid creating any records for their kids. Paranoid types, mostly.
Okay, that's it. I've given this trial as much serious attention as I intend to. There's no obvious sign of abuse. Court's adjourned today. I can't hear any more evidence.
I'll simplify it for you. I'm not going to fight Mitch anymore. I just want to surrender my rights.
Well, we really need to discuss this in court.
There's no more discussion. I won't come back.
I better come inside. Miss Featherstone, if you terminate your parental rights, you may never be able to see your son again. So think about what you're saying.
Judge Gray, I know I'm not the best mother, but I love my son. I always figured that made up for a lot.
I've always figured that too.
Today I was fired from my job. I've been there for 4 years. I'm pretty sure it's because my boss found out I was a Wiccan.
They can't fire you for that.
Actually, they have plenty of reasons they could fire me. I'm not exactly the world's best waitress.
Okay, but that's just a job. You can always get another job. You can't replace your relationship with your son.
My own congregation turned their back on me.
Well, that was politics.
There are the phone calls and the hate mail. Last night, someone broke all the windows in my car.
We'll get the police. We'll post a round-the-clock guard. I'll file for an order of special protection.
Judge Gray, I know why all this is happening. Because I've never chosen to behave like other people. I didn't marry Evan's father. And I have all these strange beliefs, which to me don't seem strange. But I live differently, and that scares people, and that is not going to change. I can't risk it. I have to protect my son. And he is safer if I'm not his mother anymore.
Miss Featherstone, I'm going to forget that you came in here today. I want you to go home. I want you to think about what Evan means to you and what life not being his mother would be like. I'll see you in court tomorrow.
Murdered. They killed that child. And I think there's evidence of it somewhere in that house. There's no birth record, so it's easy to cover up.
Maybe there's no birth record because there's no child.
Ms. Nixon, I remember him. And the former neighbors confirm it.
Neighbors are suggestible.
There's no reason to doubt these people.
Maxine, we barely have enough evidence to investigate abuse. Now you want to start searching for a dead kid. Why don't you call the police if you're so convinced?
You know why.
Because there's no probable cause.
And DCF doesn't need probable cause. This job relies heavily on instincts and perceptions and hunches.
I forbid you to go back to that house.
I can't walk away from this a second time.
I will personally arrange a restraining order if I have to.
Ms. Nixon!
It's over!
Hey, what are you doing here?
You told me to stop by sometime this week, so I'm stopping by.
All right. The all I got is peanut butter and banana sandwiches.
That sounds good.
Coming up. Want a soda?
Sure. Afternoon delight. Yeah. Who's Hillary Baker?
Oh, that. She's an old college acquaintance. She works at this New York literary agency now. They want to sign me.
Vincent, that's great.
It's not so great, actually. I'm not gonna do it.
Why not?
I knew her in college. She's a bad person.
How bad?
There are people that you don't like, right? And then there are people that bring down the quality of the human condition.
Okay, that's bad.
It gets worse. We had this one tequila-related incident. Me and Hillary in college.
And you feel like you have to pay for it the rest of your life?
I just feel like if I use her to get something that I want, it's like making a deal with the devil.
There are bad guys everywhere, Vincent. Who do you think I deal with?
Amy, your job is different. There are things more important than success. I believe that. Self-respect is worth something.
Fine. But if you let the devil stop you, then the devil wins. I mean, doesn't she?
My parents aren't home.
That's all right. They don't need to be.
You can't just come in here.
Actually, I can.
Well, stop her, Kenneth.
Go call Mom.
What are you afraid of?
You're just not supposed to be here, okay?
Teresa.
I told you to go call Mom.
What's in here? Do you have a key?
No!
May I ask why you don't want to work with Hillary?
I don't feel comfortable.
I've got to say, I don't feel comfortable bringing you in without her. You were her idea, you know.
It's a deal breaker for me. That's all. I would be really happy to sign with ALT, but there are other agencies.
Oh, really? Which ones?
I don't feel at liberty to say.
You're making this difficult, Vincent. We haven't even taken you on, and you have demands. Makes me worry about the future.
If you would just take a look at my work, I would appreciate that. And I'll accept any decision that you make. Thanks.
You're certainly going out on a limb here. Hillary must really rub you the wrong way. It would help if you told me why.
I'd rather not.
You can't be down here. My father doesn't let anyone down here.
Why not? What's your father hiding?
Hiding nothing.
Timothy?
We have to start. Where's your client, Mr. Carr?
Ms. Featherstone has informed me that she is no longer contesting Mr. Axelrod's charges.
Your Honor, Miss Featherstone's failure to appear is tantamount to abandonment.
That's unacceptable. She cannot walk out in the middle of a trial. I'll subpoena her.
Ms. Featherstone has disappeared. She wrote me a note saying that she left the state, won't return.
Well, Mr. Axelrod, it looks like fate is on your side today.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you.
Mr. Axelrod, under the circumstances, I have no recourse but to grant the DCF's petition and award you full custody of your son, Evan. But I am far from happy about it. Clearly, you are fit parents, but the charges you brought against Ann Featherstone instigated a full-scale witch hunt. She was literally run out of town. There is nothing in this situation for you to be happy about, nor you, Mr. Dobbs. This is a travesty. I am granting custody, but I refuse to terminate parental rights. Ms. Featherstone can come back and contest this decision at any time. The child lost his mother because of hate and hysteria. We can't do better than this. Why even have a judicial system? What's the point?
Bad day?
I needed to wind down someplace before going home. I'm not ready to be a mother and a daughter just yet. Where's your roommate?
He's getting back together with his girlfriend. Watching their antics makes me glad to be alone.
Nah, you need a girl.
Well, I had one. I screwed that one up, I told you.
You didn't tell me about her.
Oh, yeah, that's right. She was just this smart, beautiful, funny, talented, rich woman. Not my type.
You miss her?
Yeah, when I let myself.
It's funny. It's only at the end of a really bad day that I feel lonely. Just need someone to make me laugh.
Hey, I'm working on it.
And rub my feet.
I made you a drink. That's all you get. Hello. Yeah. Oh, hi. I see. Well, thanks. No, it's great. I appreciate that. Yeah, I can do that. All right, thanks again.
Who was that?
That's my agent.
The devil?
No, the devil's boss.
How'd that happen?
I took a chance. I went over her head. Huh. Wow, it worked.
Hi, Mommy.
I didn't mean to wake you up.
It's okay.
You know, I've been thinking about Halloween. I think maybe you should go as an angel. Because angels, you know, scare away ghosts.
They do?
Absolutely.
Can I have wings?
Wings, halo, the whole bit.
What will you be?
An angel's mommy. What's up?
Can't sleep.
Yeah, me either. It's a bad day.
Bad as they come.
You saved that kid, Ma. I heard.
He might be beyond saving. If I had pushed harder the first time.
Don't. You can't anticipate a thing like that. It's not human. He has a chance now.
They said they did it because he wasn't normal.
Let's make pancakes.
It's 2 a.m.
So what?
That's a very good point. You mix, I'll flip.
You always flip.
My house, my rules.
আজকে যদি আব্বু আম্মু যদি আমারে যদি বলতো যে সাকিব তুই বিয়ে কর, তাহলে আমি
ও তুমি
ডরাইছেন?
ডরাবো কেন? মাগের এরকম আটকা মায়া মনের সামনে চলে আসলে তো একটু চিন্তা লাগেই। আর কালকে আবার তোমার মামার সাথে চ্যালেঞ্জ, বললে আইসো শেষবার মতো চুল দাঁড়িয়ে আশ্রয় আসতে।
শুনেন, কালকের খেলায় আপনি হারবেন।
বাবা কনফিডেন্স দেখছো মেয়ে।
যদি না হারছেন তাহলে কিন্তু বললাম এটা দিয়ে আমি আমার হাতে আপনার নাম লিখুন। মানে তো তখনই বুঝবেন যখন এটার দায় আপনার উপর পড়ব। সরেন।
আরে ভাই নাম লিখবা মানে? কি মুসিবতে বললাম, জিততে না পারে এখন 2 নাম্বারই।
কি করছিস? এটা কি করলি তুই মামা বলতো? শেষ পর্যন্ত ওই হাবলু মামার কাছে।
সরি বলছি তো, মিস্টেক হয়েছে।
আর এটা খেলা না, খেলাতে হার জিত থাকি। এই কথা তুই বলতেছিস? 3 বারের চ্যাম্পিয়ন নিলয় বলতেছে এই কথা, শেষ পর্যন্ত খেলায় হার জিত থাকেই।
হ্যাঁ বলতেছি, এবার হয় না আগামী বার হইব। আর শোন, আমাদের না বয়স বেশি হয়ে গেছে, ঠিক আছে? এখন এটা জুনিয়রদের করা কাম, আমরা অনেক সিনিয়র হয়ে গেছি।
এই দাঁড়া দাঁড়া, জুনিয়র? হ্যাঁ, কোন অ্যাঙ্গেল ওই হাবলু মামার তো জুনিয়র মনে হইলো কত দেখি? এই কথা শোনার পরে ওই হাবলু মামা সানফ্লাওয়ার তেল মাইরা ঠিক ঠিক করে হাসবো। তুই এমন একটা কাজ করছিস মামা, এলাকায় মুখ দেখানোর মতো অবস্থা থাকবো না।
আমি টাকা দিতেছি, একটা কাজ কর, বোরকা কিন না পিন্দা ঘুরতে থাক, ঠিক আছে? এলাকায় আর মুখ দেখাইতে হইব না।
দাঁড়া দাঁড়া দাঁড়া, আমার মনে হইতেছে কেউ তোরে তাবিজ করছে। তুই কখনো তো এই কথা বলার ছেলে না, কি হয়েছে কত?
কোনো তাবিজ টাবিজ কিছু না। আর শোন, আনোয়ারের রহিম বাবুর ছেড়ে আনতে পাঠাইছিলাম, কই হয়?
ভাই আসসালামু আলাইকুম ভাই।
ওয়ালাইকুম আসসালাম। আনোয়ার কই?
ভাই পাড়ায় কই জানি গেল গা ভাই? কামটা কি হলো ভাই? কালকে গেমটা এটা গেলেন?
যাওয়ার হইছে, কাজের কথা আসি। লাইলির পার্টিতে কাচ্চি করে দিব
না ভাই, পারুম না, মাফ করে দেন ভাই। আপনার লেগে আমার জানা যে রুমের লেগে আমি ভাই কাচ্চি বাচ্চি রাখতে না ভাই।
কি কর রহিম ভাই? মাথা ঠান্ডা, মাথা ঠান্ডা। তোমাদের ছাড়া হইব না তো বিষয়টা। এমন কাচ্চি খাওয়াই ফিরবো, মনে করো 7 দিন যাতে কেউ বাথরুম থেকে বাইর না হইতে পারে। বুঝছো না বিষয়টা? পারো না? যাও এবার রেডি করে গিয়া, যাও তাড়াতাড়ি।
একটু বড় খবর হইব।
তোমরা আমগুলোকে বইতা।
আরে
আমরা তো খাবোই, আগে আপ্যায়নটা করে নেই। পুরান ঢাকার ট্রেডিশন তো আপ্যায়ন করা, কি মামা?
এই তো দুধ লাইনে আইছো, এরকম লাইনে থাকলে তো কোনো সমস্যা হইতো না। খুব তো কইছিল খেলার কথা, এখন বুঝছো খেলা কি?
এখন একদম ক্লিয়ার মামা। আপনার একটু কাছে দিই। আলু দিই, আলু আলু।
না না আলু না, গোস্ত দাও, গোস্ত দাও।
এই যে গোস্ত দিই।
অনেক মজা হয়েছে। এই লাইনে দাও, লাইনে দাও।
আলু
ল ল ল লাইলি ল। তুমি লইবা নি?
খাইতাম মজা তো
তুমি একটু খাও।
সবাইলাম গুলোকে খাইতাম।
আরে খাবো তো, খাবার তো আছে।
লোকে খাও।
আরে মামা খান তো। আছে কিছু লাগলে বললেন কিন্তু।
মজা হয়েছে।
আসলে
না, তুলা গোস্ত দাও।
এইবার লইয়া কয়বার হয়েছে?
ভাই 5 বার।
তোমারে এত করে কইছি যে একটু কম কম খাও, মাংনা খাওন পাইলে হুদাই হামাম করে খাও।
দুলা ভাই আমি তো মাগনা খাওয়ান খাই ভাই, আমরা তো বাজেতে জিতছি আর আমি তো পরিমাণ মতোই খাইছি। বিশ্বাস করেন দুলা ভাই, আমি নিশ্চিত ওরা খাওয়ানোর মধ্যে কিছু মিশাইছে। লাইলিও তো পরিমাণ মতো খাইছে, ওরা তো পেট নামছে শুনছি।
হ্যাঁ, মানুষের আর খায় কাম নাই, তোমার খাওয়ানোর লোকে কিছু মিলাইছে।
ভাই আপনি জানেন না, ওরা অনেক ডেঞ্জারাস, অনেক ডেঞ্জারাস দুলা ভাই। ওরা প্রত্যেকটা ধরে ধরে ফাঁসি দেওয়া উচিত দুলা ভাই। আমি খালি একটু সোজা হয়ে দাঁড়াইলই, তারপর দেখেন আমি রাজপথে নামবো, রাজপথে নামবো, আমি আন্দোলন করবো গো ফাঁসির লিগা।
যাও যাও, তুমি তোমার কামে যাও, আমি তোমার লেগে কেড়ে বয়ে থাকো।
আপনি একটু বসেন ভাই।
Chọn không phải vui. Chán thế. Ra đen này, một cái giọt nước mắt em đã rơi vì ai đâu. Cảm ơn Visa đen mà hôm qua anh bảo cảm ơn Visa đen. Ai bảo thế mà ai bảo cảm ơn Visa đen. Đây. Nghe vậy chứ ông không, mình nghe không được. Yes. Người nghe các bạn nói à, các bạn bàn chuyện vui quá thì em ở một giây sao? On đâu đâu on à? Quá. Bên này đi, chán quá, 31 máu, ok. Keep silent. Keep silent. Ô, that's how life works. That's how. That's how life works. Hả? Cái cơ lộ à? Ui xét này. Yes, đi vâng. Xét này, ta xét rồi. Xong, xong. Với cặp bánh được mèo. Bên trong bu thả 16 máu á. 16 máu. Yes, được rồi. Kéo ở đây. Ô, giáp máu ánh sáng này. Tôi xét không? Mày đi. Chết mày à. Mày ở đây. Mày ô à. Mày tạo chứng động. Mày tạo chứng động. Lắp được gì luôn. Yes. Thì toàn game nó lọ đắt bụ là mà anh comeback cực mạnh à? Giá xin ra mà anh comeback cực mạnh, hiểu không? Quả xét một giáp màu ánh sáng dấu chết. Có thằng đứng im mày. Chuẩn bố rồi. Reverse à? Tại em reverse tiếp. Uầy. Càng ngày reverse càng tốn tiền, tôi hiểu. Quyền năng. Ok, bùa thầy ơi. Rồi, con xét này sự là mạnh ấy. À, cái gì ạ? Áo. Anh em, giáp màu ánh sáng. Quyền năng với cả huyết kiếm. Rồi xong. Đi. Chúng mày đi. Để phát chết hết bọn này không? Đồ xịn điết. Set 1 thôi, set 2 thử chết hết đấy. Bế luôn con đấy. Mày đi. Tàu điên. Có set quỷ điên. Vật Ken làm giáo vì cơ. Thôi thua. Thua không? Đéo thua. Thua. Một chết. 5 máu, giờ chết. Phải chưa thì rồi. 8 cái, đắp bú quân acid. 36 chơi được. Đó là quan hẳn. Mua ra xét này. Con này. Mày hoa. Đó là gì à? Alo. Nói chuyện là không hoài. Anh cho cả. Thì sao chết à? Mày đi cướp việc của tao. Auto bro. Cốt rồi, vẫn tua. đánh ma rồi. Rồi eo. Chán rồi. Chán rồi. Năm mà tư rồi. Thôi nhưng mà chắc là hết một lúc rồi, chúng chán rồi. Chết đi em. Giờ đâu giờ. Thử luôn. Lần nào ra cũng thấy là cái ông đấy. Đây. Giống khi mà lại đôi khi quên à. Sớm rồi. Không. Đó là sự kiện đây toàn. Dạ. Ở chưa? Sao? Có sự kiện toàn là yếu à? Sự kiện toàn chặt. Yếu xử lý. Sự thắng là đa chỉ có xử lý. Quốc. Ít chim. Dạy mắt trời không bình thường của mày đâu. Không bình thường của mày đâu. Nhà chúng này, nhà xanh được, có chắc chắn xanh. Đấy. Mình hành đầu, đâu mày chắc thấy mà. Tao gửi ảnh gái gì đấy, chung qua tao ghi xe đứt nữa. Nè, kinh vãi. Đây. Không biết tỏ cường của mình. Mình ngủ trên lâu ấy. In vai luôn ở đây được không? Mình có in vai không? Được. Đấy. Không các bạn có được in vai không? Cái gì nhỉ? Tên là gì? Tên là cái gì? Đâu nó hiện lên mà. Nó hiện, nó ấn mất rồi mà. Ấn cấn vào. Rồi voi đây. Rồi voi. Nope. Sao anh cần quạch nhau thì tao up lên nhé anh nha. Anh cần quạch nhau. Mày nói cho nhớ quạch gì đâu. Mày nói chứ nhớ quạch gì đâu. À, được rồi. Picture. Này. Siêu cấp tham nhũng.